Hare Krishna, everybody. Offering our pranams to Srila Prabhupada. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pasyatya Desatarine Adanastaram Dantaridam Yatcha Puna Puna Srimadrupam Mahabodhi Rajahamsham Bhavi Bhavi Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakti Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, now, exciting. Tata Pravishati Krishna. Krishna. Charcham Sinchati Shoshayati Apimito Vishpardahi Vasakrin Netra Dvandvam Urascha Yad Virahato Bashpayamanam Mama Hanta Swapna Shati Pi Dulabatata Prekshot Shiva Preyasi Prapyot Sangam Atarkitam Mamakatam Saratika Vartate. Krishna enters. Krishna. Because of the pain of separation from my beloved Radha, my eyes bathe my chest in tears, moistening the fragrant sandal paste ointment there. Burning with the pain of separation from my beloved Radha, my chest then dries that moistened sandal paste. In this way my eyes and chest are engaged in a fierce battle over that sandal paste. Alas, in hundreds of dreams I cannot attain the rare festival of the sight of my beloved. One day will my Radha unexpectedly come here and surprise me with an embrace. Looking ahead, Queen Rukmini, the daughter of the king of Kundina, decorates the jeweled entranceway of the palace. Attended by Madhavi, Chandravali enters. Chandravali. Madhavi, my noble husband comes. Bring the garland of Shura Sogandhika flowers. Krishna approaches. O Queen, you are like a beautiful regal swan that wonderfully spreads its wings in the lake of my heart. Chandravali with feeling. Oh, Madhavi, he has spoken nicely. Why do you smile upon hearing his words? Madhavi. Princess, I smile to think of the duck that also stays in that lake. Krishna. Ignorant Madhavi, whose only wealth is a beak that itches for a quarrel. Stop. You cannot change Chandravali's love. He glances at Queen Rukmini. O fair complexioned one, my heart is deeply in love with you. My heart cannot live for a moment without you. Madhavi. Princess, you strung this garland of Sura Sogandhika flowers with your own hands. Chandravali takes the garland. Noble husband, may this garland become the wife of your Kaustubha jewel. She places the garland on his chest. Krishna. O beautiful girl, my broad chest is a palatial home for you. In the palace of my chest the Kaustubha jewel resides with your garland as his wife. In truth, he can take no other wife. Embarrassed, Chandravali bows her head. Krishna, with love and respect, he touches her hand. Today, I have promised to visit a certain ascetic woman who is continually engaged in meditation on the Supreme Lord. Please give me permission to visit her today. O girl whose complexion is as fair as kumkum, please allow me to keep my promise to her. Krishna aside. The obstacle is Chandravali. As it pleases my noble husband. Krishna. The obstacle is broken. Now I will go to New Vrindavan. He exits. Navavrinda. My queen, here are 2 boxes of ornaments. The first one is for the queen. It bears this special mark. The second is for Satyabhama. Madhavi aside. He must have made better ornaments for his own granddaughter. I will switch the boxes and decorate Princess Rukmini with the ornaments of the second box. Openly, Navavrinda, give me both boxes. I will have the second box sent to Satyabhama. Navavrinda does that. So, although they have specific dresses and ornaments, but she thinks, well, Satyabhama is actually the granddaughter of Vishwakarma, so that must be better. Therefore, I'll give that to Rukmini, which means that when Rukmini wears that, she's going to look like Satyabhama, and vice versa. Chandravali. Now I will go and bathe in the palace lake. Accompanied by her companions, she exits. This Braj Bas is like Sanskrit is nursery rhymes compared to that. Navavrinda. This is the auspicious time for me to have springtime. The king of seasons crowned the forest of Vrindavan. For this purpose I will go there. She walks. A voice from behind the scenes. Seeing the Lord enjoying pastimes by happily walking with his beloved in the forest garden filled with flowers, all the seasons became happy, and bringing all their opulence at once appeared in the place. Navavrinda. Why decorated with forest flowers and making Vrindavan forest all perfect by his presence, does Lord Krishna, who enchants the entire world, now follow beautifully decorated Radha? Looking again, she becomes struck with wonder. Their sweet words are like the cooing of cuckoo birds on its branches, their handsomeness its trunk, their amorous desires its many new shoots, their perspiration its pearl fruit, their tears its honey, and their pastimes the birds that make it tremble, even though it never moves. The desire tree of Shri Radha Krishna's transcendental bliss shines with great wonder, splendor. As described, Radha and Krishna enter. Krishna. This is in CC. I was searching for some sign of you, and now I have found you, the supreme goddess of fortune of all the worlds. I was like a person who wanders over the entire universe in search for a handful of chickpeas and finds a monsoon shower of gold instead. Navavrinda, seeing Radha. Her eyes filled with tears, she's not able to see Lord lotus-eyed Krishna. The vines of her arms completely stunned, she has no power to embrace him. Her voice chokes up. She cannot speak. Although doe-eyed Radha has finally met Krishna after a very long time, these obstacles still remain to separate her from him. Krishna comes close to Radha. One moment my heart burns in the flames of separation, and the next moment it is aroused by the kiss of amorous desire. O girl whose breasts are like water pots, please throw on me your glance filled with the flowers of every new playfulness, flowing with nectar and flooded with the waves of the dancing of your restless, graceful eyebrows. Radha, embarrassed. Navavrinda, I'm definitely dreaming. Now I plunge again and again into the ocean of happiness. When I waken, will I not again and again weep with an open throat? Navavrinda, dear friend, you have just awakened from a terrible nightmare. Listen, in this forest of New Vrindavan, there are many trees that feel a great festival of happiness to be watered by many hundreds of glistening streams created by mountains of Chandrakanta jewels melting in the moonlight. With the playful humming of many swarms of bumblebees, blinded by the sweet fragrance of the blooming lotus flowers, this forest of New Vrindavan seems to be calling out to us. Krishna, Navavrinda, well done, well done. This is unprecedented. Accompanied by all their jubilant friends and associates, all the seasons have gathered in this one place. Navavrinda, friend Radha, look, look, at this tree growing in the lap of this hill. Look at this tree growing in the lap of this hill. Even though it has no branches, the beauty of its many flowers eclipses the stars and fills the peacocks with happiness. It has no branches. Radha, filled with longing, she says to herself, alas, where's my dear friend Vishaka? Krishna aside, the words of Navavrinda reminded her of her friend Vishaka. That made her unhappy at heart. I will describe Vishaka to her openly. Beloved, listen for a moment to this wonderful news. Today, carrying a Sura Sagandhika flower and accompanied by Arjuna, the son of Pandu, I entered the Khandava forest. As Arjuna was hunting deer with his Gandiva bow, two birds were taken away by two eagles. The first bird said, O parrot friend, I will never again taste the delicious moonlight lotus roots offered in Radha's Kanda Shastra sacrifice. The second parrot then said, O friend, I will never again enjoy the oranges that look like so many red Mars planets in Radha's Phalashatra sacrifice. Radha struck with wonder. Then, Krishna, hearing this, I eagerly released the two birds. Then I began wandering in the forest, where I met a very peaceful old lady. I asked her, who are you? She replied, this lake was created for the birds by the performance of a sacrifice. It is filled with fragrant Sura Sogandhika lotus flowers created by severe austerities. Here is also a garden filled with nectar sweet fruit. I am a Pulinda woman. I am the protector of these two places. I asked her who performed the sacrifices that created this lake. She said, a girl who possesses a great wealth in austerity. She followed a vow to live submerged in the water of that lake. Now that vow is completed, and she has begun a vow to live in the forest. The name of this vow is Radha Bhishtasadhana, the vow to attain the desire of meeting Radha. Radha. Then, Krishna, then that old lady told me of the mountain cave where the girl resides. I went there, and the girl engaged in practicing austerities, her complexion spotted, her body covered with dust and clothed in tree bark, her hair matted, and a lotus hand holding a string of rubies entered the pathway of my eyes. She also saw me, and at once began to loudly cry. Speaking with broken words, she said, O playful prince who enjoys pastimes in the village of Gokula's king Nanda, O black bee who at once flies into the lotus flower of the gopis' hearts, O dark musk anointing Radha's breasts, again you have entered the pathway of my eyes. I was struck with wonder. I asked her, who are you? In a choked voice she said, O Lord, I am your unfortunate maidservant Vishaka. Radha, alas, alas, O dear friend Vishaka, I am unfortunate, I am very unfortunate. Krishna, streams of hot and cold tears simultaneously flowed from my eyes onto my yellow garment. Stunned and motionless, I leaned for a moment on Vishaka's shoulders. Wishing to please her, I made her happy by telling her the good news of your arrival. The now beautifully dressed, slender Vishaka I happily brought to Dwarka. Radha, eager, O handsome one, I bow down to offer respects to you. Please let me see Vishaka. Krishna glances at the face of Navavrinda. Navavrinda, Vishaka said to me, alas, my father's words have killed me. He said that as long as my dear friend Radha is separated from the Shamantaka jewel, I would not be allowed to see her. That is why I entered the waters of the mountain stream. Radha, it is true, it is true. Mother Sangya said to me, child Radha, when the Shamantaka jewel is placed in your hand, all your desires will be fulfilled. Navavrinda, my lord, look, look. The jasmine flowers are smiling, the shirisha flowers are blooming, the kadamba flowers have opened wide, the jati flowers seem to be laughing. O Krishna, look, the parnasa flowers have appeared, the priyangu flowers are beginning to bloom. The opulence of all the seasons have become manifest at the same time. Krishna, beloved, look, somewhere a cuckoo sings, somewhere a cricket cries. Crickets don't cry. Somewhere a peacock dances, somewhere a regal swan coos, somewhere a kiki bird warbles, somewhere a haritaka bird calls. This meeting of all the seasons brings great pleasure to me. Navavrinda, Lord, look, look. Blowing past the Malaya sandalwood forests, filled with sharp-fanged snakes, and dipping into the lotus-filled waters of the Pampa River, a breeze has now entered Vrindavan forest to render service to you, the master of Garuda. Krishna glances at the tree. O Kadamba tree, is everything well for you? O Priyangu tree, are you happy now? O Pilu tree, is everything good for you? O mango trees, have you become prosperous now? O Madhavi vines, have you become fortunate? At last, Radha's friend Krishna enters amongst you and follows your path. Navavrinda, Lord, now that its cave has become a palace for your meeting Radha, Nandishwar Hill has become very happy. Krishna glancing at Radha, O girl with a slender waist, do you recognize this restless-eyed doe now standing on the peak of Nandishwar Hill? Thinking it to be a clump of grass, this doe used to fearlessly and repeatedly bite the vine that was your emerald necklace. Radha, how could I not recognize her? This is my dear friend, the doe named Rangini. Krishna, O beautiful one, there is a large stone, as splendid as an autumn cloud. I used to sit on that stone and watch the great wrestling pastimes of the cowherd boys. Radha, Navavrinda, what is this tree? With its beautiful flowers, it seems to mock the flowers of the Nagakeshwara tree. Navavrinda, O simple girl, this is a kubjaka tree. Radha picks a cluster of flowers and gazes at it. Ah, a demon bee is hiding there. Krishna, O girl whose eyes are like frightened eyes of a doe, let go of the twig that holds this bee. O girl with beautiful eyebrows, in this world, Kubja trees are famous as places of fear. Navavrinda aside, as Radha listens to the words of her Lord, she also glances at me from the corner of her crooked, smiling eyes. Openly, friend, you should ask lotus-eyed Krishna yourself. Krishna, you tell me what your friend wants to say. Navavrinda, she wants to say, my Lord, the touch of these kubja flowers bring great pleasure to this bumblebee. Why should I be afraid? Krishna, smiling, your friend is frightened for no reason. Look, the Krishna bumblebee is not staying with the crooked girl. After all, he has left her, and now he flies into the fragrant forest of Radha's face. Radha, frightened, oh restless bumblebee, stop, stop. Bold drake, I will hit you with this toy lotus. Rupa Goswami is really taking dictation. This is what goes on in terms of the interaction between Krishna's associates and Krishna and his associates. This is the language that they use, very ornamental language. There are different, I'm not reading, otherwise it sort of gets a little confusing, the double meanings for many things that are actually being said, and the indirect praise or glorification, just like in Bhagavatam, there's Krishna and Balaram glorifying the autumn season. So indirectly, Krishna is by glorifying autumn, Vrindavan in autumn, he's glorifying Balaram. Some people say that he's actually glorifying Srimati Radharani. So, although it, it's not like some kind of real action movie where something's happening every 30 seconds, just like today's television or entertainment, people have like a 3-4 minute attention span, and that's as long as they can focus. So, and all of these things are very rasa laden, and the books of the acharyas, the words of Krishna or Srimati Radharani or others, they invoke rasa, they awaken love in the heart. It's just like if you see a very sad a story, you become sad, you sympathize. If you see a very lusty scene, you become lusty. If there's something very outrageous happens, like, I don't know, someone is beating a little animal, then you become really, really angry. So this is the tadiya, it's called, is that you identify that what you see or hear, that invokes similar feelings. But all of those other things are mundane. These are all spiritual feelings, and of course that's what Krishna describes in the Gita, that in the beginning, spiritual things, in the beginning they taste like poison, but they end up like nectar. Whereas things that are mundane in the beginning, they taste like nectar, and they end up like poison. Krishna, look, look, the bumblebee is no longer pleased with the palasha flower. Now he thinks the Priyangu flower is useless. He will not stay in the Vasanti flower. He is not happy with the Kumuda flower. He will not go to the Lavali flower. The fragrance of your face has made him blind with the most intense kind of happiness. I don't know whether he's not just bothering to look up the corresponding Western name or Latin name of flowers, or whether they just don't even exist in this part of the world, or even probably in India they exist. Navavrinda, presenting to Lord Krishna the pitchers of water that are its flowing streams, the parasols that are its trees, the resting place that are the spatika stones, the ornaments that are its glistening minor pigments, and the mirrors that are its many jewels, this king of mountains, the hill named Govardhan, is now splendidly manifest before us. Krishna, O slender one, look at the jubilant, intoxicated peacock playing on top of Govardhan Hill. On the pretext of very enthusiastic dancing, that peacock would sometimes drop a feather that was actually intended as the gift of an ear ornament for you. Deities, Radharani can wear peacock feather ear ornament or peacock feather on her ear. Radha, O Tandavika, O king of peacocks, may you always prosper. Krishna, beloved, do you remember the path from Govardhan Hill to the Jamuna? Now, when you go to Vrindavan, I mean, the Jamuna is only all the way to the east, and it divides Vrindavan into the 7 forests that are Krishna's dominion, and on the other side, on the eastern side, is Balaram's 5 forests. But before, the Jamuna used to flow many places. Used to flow by Govardhan. The Jamuna used to flow by Barshana. So it had at least many tributaries. How could I not remember? The circle of champaka trees ahead of us leads to a row of punaga trees, next to a grove of jambu trees, and then a great kadamba forest. In this way there is a broad path lined with many, many beautiful trees leading from the slope of Govardhan Hill to the Jamuna river. Krishna smiles. Come, let us go to the Jamuna by this path. Everyone does that. Navavrinda, its gracefully moving water filled with lotus flowers, the splendid Jamuna river, the sister of the demigod Jama, makes my eyes dance with joy. Krishna, the bandira tree before us happily bends in the breeze, its leaves defeating all peacock feather rivals. With hundreds and millions of very great branches, it is the king of all trees on the Jamuna shore. Bandira tree is, well, in Vrindavan, it's up north. In New Brajadam, it's south, along the western side of the, on the east, well, on the western side here, eastern side there. But when that tree is descended from the spiritual worlds, one of the associates of Krishna, big banyan tree, and its branches go to the other side. And sometimes people confuse this bandira tree with bandiravan, and bandiravan is on the other side, and that's where technically Radha and Krishna were married. Radha in Sanskrit, spreading a charming sweet fragrance, surrounded by agitated bumblebees, and bearing many beautiful flowers, these multitudes of jasmine vines enchant my heart. Krishna repeating what Radha said, spreading a charming sweet fragrance, surrounded by agitated bumblebees and bearing many beautiful flowers, these multitude of jasmine vines enchant my heart. Navavrinda, by rubbing against your necklace, the garland of Sura Sugandhika flowers has now fallen from Krishna's chest. Look, a swan has picked it up on her beak and is flying with it. I remember that Chandravali gave that garland to Krishna, and now it's fallen down from Krishna's chest. Krishna, why is she flying to the pond inside the palace? Navavrinda, even liberated souls, free from all material desires, cannot renounce the happiness of yearning to live in Vrindavan. What then can be said of other creatures not so exalted as this? They must all long to stay in Vrindavan. It's also a well-known verse. Krishna. Beloved, never before have Atimukha and Malati flowers bloomed in such a beautiful way. When I was in the home of my guru, I learned the art of making crowns with flowers. I will pick some of these flowers and make for you a crown of flowers more beautiful than any crown ever made. He walks for some distance and then becomes struck with wonder. What is this on the jeweled wall that enchants my heart with its sweetness? He looks again. Ah, how I have become reflected here. Now this is both significant and it's quoted in CC a couple of times. Verse devotees can memorize. Aparikalita purvakas chamat kari spuratu mamagariyam nesha madhurya pura ayam maham apihanta prekshayam lubda cheta sarabaramuparuptum kamyati kamayi radikeva. Agitated. Who manifests an abundance of sweetness greater than mine, which has never been experienced before, and which causes wonder to all? Alas, my mind bewildered upon seeing this beauty, I impetuously desire to enjoy it, like Srimati Radharani. So Krishna walking to pick flowers, and he sees his reflection in a very polished marble pillar. And when he sees that pillar, he said he's enchanted by his own sweetness. And he says, when I see this sweetness and beauty, I want to enjoy it just like Radharani. So this is talking about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is Krishna's already expression 5,000 years ago that he wants to be in the position of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Actually, we didn't. Now we're coming up to that part. There are certain steps to this whole drama. One is that the two, Radha and Chandravali, are wearing each other's clothes, and that this garland which Chandravali made, which then Krishna and Srimati Radharani were together, so inevitably that means that it's stained with kumkum. So, and it fell down, so Chandravali went to bathe in the pond, and similarly, the swan who picked up the garland, it went to the pond as well. To be continued. Jai Shri Lalita-mādhava ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Hari 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 Bol.